Good evening. Welcome to Authentic Expressions. Thanks again for joining this live stream. Look forward to answering your questions. So let's see who's checked in. All right, I see Zach, and I see other names popping in. Be sure to post your questions in the chat area, and I'd love to answer it. So again, this program is sponsored by Laurel Ridge, and I'm going to play a promotional video so that we can be familiar with the services they offer.
Stream is sponsored by Laurel Ridge Treatment Center. Laurel Ridge Behavioral Health Program offers compassionate care for every stage of life. It provides personalized treatment for all populations. Their interest is to help you into your journey to wellness. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, military dependents, active duty service members, veterans, and first responders. They offer inpatient services, outpatient services, substance abuse treatment, and residential treatment. Call 210-491-3591 for no-cost assessment. Laurel Ridge is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their mission is to save lives, heal families, and create hope.
All right.
This YouTube.
Okay. Whoa, sorry. Oh, shit. All right. Welcome to Authentic Expressions. And today's focus is on effective tools to work with defiant children and teens. So let's look at some questions that you have in mind, and we will talk about how to work with children and teens who are struggling with staying on task. Okay, I see some familiar names already. So one of the questions Zach posted is, let's see. Okay, I see Gonzalez, Jeremy Gonzalez, Jinan Gonzalez. Okay, I see your name. Okay, I see Rachel, I see Angela. Okay, let's have some questions as to how to work with defiant children and teens. Okay, I see Bridget is here. So one of the questions that Zach posted is, how do you diffuse a child who is continually escalating in the moment? This seems to be a very common issue, common problem with children. And it depends on what they're escalating about. Could it be they refuse to do a chore, they do not want to be interrupted when they are playing on their devices, or they refuse to do a certain task at home. So I want to understand what the disruption is about. I also want to look at what the child is doing at the moment. So many times children pitch a fit when you interrupt them when they're in the middle of something. So when the storm is over, I would go and ask, okay, what bothered you? What were you so upset about? So do not talk with them or even try to negotiate anything when they're in the middle of a temper tantrum. It's best to wait for the storm to pass and then talk about it in calmness. In calmness is like you want to give them warning. Like whenever you're calm, let's talk, let's visit. So let's have a conversation. So use engaging words so that the child goes, okay, we have a time to talk. So when you talk, be sure you are seated, not standing in like as though you're in transition, because all this sets the tone for engagement. So you want to understand why the child pitched a fit. Was it because they were in the middle of a very exciting movie, exciting game, and they did not want to stop? So once you understand it, then you can ask, in the future, the next time, the next week, when you're in this situation, how would you like to handle it? Tell me what steps you will take to handle it so we won't have a repeat of this. And then you have them walk through your steps. And then you can also interject your own steps. So about 20 years ago, I worked with a couple, and the the fit that the child pitched was she was always in the middle of game, and she would pitch a royal fit when it's time to go take a bath. So I suggested that the parent give the child warning so that the child is aware that, okay, I have a 5 minute warning. So now it's time to wrap up. So during the course of the day, walk through the routine with the child. Children appreciate it when they are respected, when you give them 5 minute warning, 10 minute warning. So then they know how to wrap things up. When you abruptly take away things, you're more likely to face resistance. So make sure that you converse with them, make sure that they know the steps, ask for how can I support you? What kind of time frame are we talking about? So how can we work together? And then the next day or so, okay, have them walk through the steps with you. Make sure that it's in their headspace. Because if you talk about it, they may not think about it very much. So when you repeatedly ask them to repeat the steps, then they are able to walk through it in their own heads. So that helps them prepare. Time is up. The key is not always give instructions, but ask them, how would you like to handle this? What's the best way to take care of it? Okay, Jeanine Ong has a question. How do you not react with anger, frustration at your child who's having a meltdown in public? Great question. This is so common. So when they have a meltdown, I would immediately leave the store. I know, many parents struggle with time frame issues, there are lots of things you have to do. I would immediately leave the store, and I would suggest that you go back to the car and regroup. So many times children will throw themselves on the middle of the store and then they refuse to go. When you start walking away, they will come to you. Don't just stand there and try to coax them. Start walking away, and children will follow because they know that if you hang around, they'll pitch a more glorious fit, and then they're getting all the attention. Walk away and regroup. And if you can, go home. If not, talk about, okay, how do we behave in public? So don't always give them instructions. Ask them, how do we behave in public? What do we do? How do we walk? What you can ask for one thing, not always, want multiple things, if that's the rule that you have agreed upon. So have the children, whatever their age is, to repeat the steps to you. If you repeat it, you know it, but the child, many times they don't hear you. They check out when you're talking. So go, okay, repeat the steps to me. When we walk in the store, what are we to do? So have them tell you. And so go back into the store and see if you have a better run this go around. And remind them, when you throw a fit, we're going to go back to the car. So, and make sure you go. Don't just use threatening words and do nothing. Because if you say it one time, the second time the child should repeat to you. Don't always give instructions. Children will always say, do I have to brush my teeth tonight? Do I have to take a bath? Don't answer that question. What is the answer? Ask them, what is the answer? What do you think? So give the question back to them. All right. Okay, Christine Trevino. Good, glad you're here. Bridget asked, how can you address a child who frequently manipulates others? So that's a good question. So I would love to understand more about manipulation. They manipulate others to do something for them, they manipulate others to cave in. So I would love to understand more about what that manipulation means. So um, I wonder if they manipulate you to do more things for them, to give in to them. So if this is what you track, then you have to look at yourself. Many times, children misbehave because they know they can get by with it. So you have to look at you as to what you are doing to set it up so that they keep doing the same thing. If you find yourself doing the same thing and they are manipulating you, then you have a part to play in this scenario. So I would be wiser and I would go, okay, next week the child is going to do this. What is my response going to be? So you have to be the person who can see the big picture. I'm going to be manipulated next week. Either give in, or buy a toy, or give in to their request. They're nagging for more time to use their digital devices. If you know that that's consistently happening, have more conversations. Don't just react. Don't just let yourself be swept under. So, as a parent, as an adult, have conversations. Share with your child how you feel when they use the same manipulative ploys to work with you. So, it's important that you express your feelings as well. And it's important that you come up with a different plan so you don't set yourself up to be subjected to the same manipulation week in, week out. Because when you allow yourself to be manipulated, you too have trained your child to use you, to use other people. So that's not a very healthy trait to have them develop. And I would also ask, when you constantly do this, you know that this is your time for the device, this is the allocated time. You're constantly asking for more. Tell me what's going on. Help me understand. So use open ended questions to understand their situation. And if you feel like it's a fair request or is a request that's too lackadaisical or too demanding, then you go, you come up with a plan. So let's see if we can negotiate something. So train your children to work with you, not just react and mirror their behavior and then get angry in the long run, because it's not healthy for you to be constantly subjected to manipulations and feel resentful over time. Okay, Jeannie goes, how do you remain calm when your child is being unreasonable and stubborn? Yes, another good question. So when they are unreasonable, so you have to help me understand what unreasonable means. What are they asking? Is it a bigger allowance? Are unreasonable with their digital devices? Unreasonable with stretching their curfew? Unreasonable in not complying with the household guidelines? So, how do you remain calm? The best way to look at it is for you to remain calm is to not just handle the situation when you're in the moment. When a problem occurs, it's best to address it when both of you are calm and talk about it. Do not wait to talk about it when it's happening in the moment, because it's already too late. And that's what couples do. They talk about things when it's a repeat offense, and then both are escalated, both are already heated up. So they bring fuel to the fire. And, it's like pouring kerosene to a fight that's going on. So anytime you address a problem when it's happening, it's a setup to fail. So it's important to think about how you can talk about it after the incident and always sit down. That's very important. Don't just stand in passing in the hallway. because the children know, okay, I can escape this because we're standing, and I can get distracted, and I can use something to distract my mother or my father or whoever. So learn to sit down, respect yourself, have conversations, do it slowly. Don't just slap some solutions together that you know will not work. Because when you do that, you are disrespecting yourself, you're disrespecting your method in coping, and children know what they can get by with. So always sit down, always go into understand, go in to have a conversation, go in with a curious mindset and go tell me more about, you know, these expectations. Help me understand what's going on. You've been very demanding. Help me understand, this request. So when you go in with curiosity to understand rather than just draw conclusions, children will feel heard. When heard, and when you share your feelings, they are more likely to comply with you. Don't just have them share their feelings. It's important that you share your feelings as well. Like the feelings that you can share with them is, it bothers me that we go through this every 2 weeks. I want to work with you. I want to help you out. So use engaging words like, it's important to me that we do this together. So I need your help to help me get the household to run smoothly. Don't do you always do this. You never do that. So when we come with an accusatory tone, children will mirror us and then they will do the same barking as we do. Because many times children tend to mirror their parents in the way they cope. So learn to respect your time, sit down, have true conversations. Don't just have quick resolutions that are ineffective. Okay, Jill asks, what do you do when they are yelling and dysregulated? So, depending on the age of the child, and so I'm trying to think of scenarios. So, are they yelling at me when they're heated up or when they're already all dysregulated? And is this a repeat offense? So, my rule of thumb is when something has happened again, the same thing has happened again the second time, I will do something different to interrupt it so I don't have a third time and fourth time and subject myself to repeated distress. So, the example I want to give you is if you park your car in a dark alley and then it's broken into the first time, chances are the second time you won't park in the dark alley. So same thing with children. They act out and then again and again, and then we do the same thing. We yell back at them, and both the parent and child are dysregulated. When children are dysregulated, I believe it's very important that you walk away. You say, I'm here, but let's calm down. You calm down and we'll talk. And make sure you have time for them to talk. And it may take them an hour or so. But if they escalate again, I go, okay, do you need more time? When do you want to talk? So you create opportunities for them to express themselves. So when they are yelling, many times when they yell, the incident happened before. So I want to understand, okay, what happened last night? What happened this morning? What happened last week? Because when people yell, when people snap, when people bark, something has happened hours before, or things have been brewing and they feel resentful and they are looking for the right opportunity to bark at you. So I want to go and understand their dysregulation. I want to go and hear their point rather than make assumptions and assume that they're defiant, they're rude, they're disrespectful. So they act that way because could be that they're not heard or that they are not understood. So I would make time to understand what their dissatisfaction is. So learn to use engaging words like, so tell me what's hurting you, what's bothering you. Tell me what you want me to understand. Help me understand what you're struggling with. So give them a platform to express themselves. Okay, Gonzalez, and is that Shannon? So Shannon, the question is, why is it important to understand a child's perspective when managing their behavior? That's an excellent question. So whatever the situation is, you want to understand it before you fix the problem. You want like a car situation. You don't want to just fix your car because the noise is in this area. While the noise is in this area, you want to understand what is connected to. So understanding the root of the problem helps you solve it effectively. Like whenever a tree is infected, usually it's not, the leaves are showing signs of distress, but the root is the problem. So same thing with children. We want to understand what is causing them distress, what is causing them anxiety. Many times the symptom they display is usually not related to their dissatisfaction or to their acting out. Whenever they display a symptom, it's probably something that's been brewing in their headspace for a long time. And then they cannot express it. So when they cannot express it, let's say they are young. So then I go, okay, give me 3 guesses. You're angry with this, you are hurt about that, you are disappointed about this. So if they cannot express it, you give multiple choice selections and go, okay. And if you're wrong, then go, okay, I missed the guess. Tell me what bothers you. So even in solving any problem with your partner, with your parents, with colleagues, with friendship, go and understand. You were rather snappy last week. Tell me what was going on. If the same snappiness keeps showing up, go understand it rather than assume it. One of the worst things we can do is because we assume, so we usually assume the wrong thing. They may already be dissatisfied with something that happened at work. So at home, when they come home from work, they bark at you because, their friend called them an ugly name. And so they're already in a heated mood. So when they bark at you, it's because they already feel inferior, and so they feel safe with you. And they're expressing their hurt. So when children are angry, most of the time it's a different emotion that is brewing. So behind anger, if you dig down, there's usually a lot of hurt. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of feeling discouraged, feeling defeated, feeling unheard. So you want to go in and understand those feelings. So sounds like you were hurt when your friend called you a name. So tell me what hurt you, what bothered you. How often has this been going on? So you get them to explain the situation. All right, so that goes. I've noticed many parents don't even have a developed emotional vocabulary to be able to share their feelings with their kids when necessary. I imagine this makes communication hard for those families. That's exactly true. Yes, many parents struggle with it, but feelings are universal language. No matter what your culture, when there's hurt, people know it resides in their body, but they may not be able to express it. But if you can learn some vocabulary related to feelings, children cannot say feelings, I feel hurt. So if you can learn to study it, so you're hurt or disappointed, start with two, A or B. Which outfit do you want to wear? Yellow or green? So when there are two, give them choices. So when you state the feelings, then they're building, you're helping your children build a feeling vocabulary. So if they're three, give them three choices. If they're 3 years old, give them three choices related to feelings. Um, and then dig deeper to understand that feeling. It hurt me when my brother, took away my toy, when nobody asked me about what I wanted to eat, when you all made decisions without including me. So tell me what hurt you. So understanding the core of what's burping in their headspace is very important. So let's go to Rachel's question. What do I do if they never want to talk? Even after breaks, they just keep throwing fits. They keep throwing fits, and I wonder for how long. Um, in this situation, as parents, you always look for opportunity when they're in a calm state, and then you can also gently say, I really would like to talk to you about what happened last night. So learn to lower your voice and gently invite them to talk, and then see if you can negotiate. I would like to talk to you after dinner. Is this a good time? If not, tell me when. So, in these situations, give them forced choices, A or B. Of the three things we have, which one do you want to eat? So, choices help children. It's a win-win. You're saying, okay, of the three, which one do you want to eat? So they have to make a choice within the realm of what you provided. So when they don't want to talk, so you want to talk after dinner or after you take a shower? Which one? Okay. When they don't talk, then you go make some guesses. So when you're in the situation where you're able to talk, make guesses. So tell me what's happened. If they can't say, is it this, or this? So you prompt them to talk more. Okay. And then if they don't talk, just write it down. You are feeling this, or this. So then they don't have to say it verbally, but they can say it in writing. So which feelings? Circle for me if you can get to that. So use different tools. Don't just use verbal communication. All right, Joe, we must get curious and help them express it with multiple choice. Wow, seek to understand. Yes, multiple choice is a good tool to help children because many times they're learning a feeling vocabulary and it's a new vocabulary. So if we can help them, like learning alphabets, so you feel disappointed that you didn't get included in the game, you feel embarrassed when they called you an ugly name, you felt which one? So which one? And so make it safe. And when you're talking and you're teaching feelings, see if you can avoid eye contact. Don't look at them. Look someplace else. You can be back to back. You can write it down as though you're busy with something, and then you can slip it into their headspace. Um, so people like when you're driving in the car, they tell you all sorts of things because you're not looking at them. So take out eye contact and see if they open up more. Okay, Elsa Martinez goes, how does a parent step in when a sibling is fighting or uncooperative with one another? So I'm thinking, okay, what's the age of this sibling group and the frequency of this fight? So these are the good question. So these are the key things I would like to ask. So let's say we assume that they're 5 years old. I would suggest they go time out and then they go sit in the thinking chair, not the timeout chair, the thinking chair. So think about how they want to address this, and they can sit facing each other or they can sit in different corners of the room. When they're ready to play, play gently, share well, then you can jump in anytime. So it is not a timeout where you have to sit there for 5 minutes until the ringer goes off. Remind them it's a thinking chair, and then when they're ready to play in these in this manner, then they can jump in any time. So teach them to self-regulate so that you're not constantly managing their fights, because you want to teach children to have fair fighting rules and then they negotiate amongst themselves or between themselves. All right. Okay. Last question by Claudia. How do how to balance affection with firmness when setting limits for uncooperative teenager? What a great question. Yes, how do you be affectionate and firm? Those are two good traits. You have to be firm and yet you have to be kind, compassionate. So, with any age children, whenever you deliver the guidance, always ask, what did you hear me say? All these are very important. You may have delivered the message, but did they hear you? So I want to go, tell me what is the rule? How can we, okay, now that you know the rule, what are the guidelines? And have them tell you the whole step until they complete it. Then you know that, then they understand the steps. And then go, okay, I appreciate you helping me put this together. I appreciate you helping me, I appreciate you following through with this. So always talk with calmness, even when they're defiant. And children will know that they will get by with certain things when you don't follow up and follow through. So make sure you follow through. And when you see them completing the task or whatever they did or put up their digital device within the time frame, thank them. Thank them, give them high fives, give them a hug, tell them you appreciate it. Tell them that, you want to work with them, but you also need to follow rules. Just like, the world exists based on how we function on rules. If not, traffic will be havoc. Okay, our time is up, and Julie has a question. What routine systems have you seen working best for promoting consistent cooperation? Okay, Julie, our time is up, and I want to respect your time. Would you kindly bring this to the next session, the next YouTube live stream next week? For next week, we are going to address how do you sabotage your relationships? It could be work relationships, your relationship with your child. It could be a partner relationship. It could be a social relationship. How do you sabotage your relationships? And do you set healthy, respectful boundaries? So thank you for attending this YouTube live stream. Remember to bring a friend, bring a family member, have them type in the questions. So again, this video is sponsored by Laurel Ridge, and I'm going to show you their closing video. Okay, let me see if I can find it.
YouTube live stream is sponsored by Laurel Ridge Treatment Center. Laurel Ridge Behavioral Health Program offers compassionate care for every stage of life. It provides personalized treatment for all populations. Their interest is to help you into your journey to wellness. There are services for children, adolescents, adults, military dependents, active duty service members, veterans, and first responders. They offer inpatient services, outpatient services, substance abuse treatment, and residential treatment. Call 210-491-3591 for no-cost assessment. Laurel Ridge is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their mission is to save lives, heal families, and create hope.
All right, thank you. Again, thank you for attending this YouTube live stream. Come back next week. I would love to answer your questions. What awesome questions. So we'll look for ways to set your relationship up so it will be respectful and self-honoring. Have an awesome rest of the week. Thank you.